Hey, what's up guys, Weldon Customs here, and today we are taking a look at the Dragon Ball Super Dragon Balls line, and this is Super Saiyan Vegeta right here. And this will be a nice review on him, but also a nice comparison with the SH Figuarts figures. Because, to be honest, when I first heard about this line, I didn't think anything of it. I didn't want to do anything with it, because I thought they were like some cheap $20 knockoffs compared to the SH Figuarts, even though they're both made by Bandai, which is kind of funny also. But I don't want to do anything with it, to be honest. And then maybe a couple months later, I bought this figure, and this figure I did a review on, and you know what? It's not that bad, and I didn't want to pay the 40-50 bucks for a SH Figuarts Beerus to be sitting there, standing there, because it's a lot of money. There's a lot of money to spend, so 20 bucks, you know what? Let me give this line a try. And I actually do like it. I like it a lot. And he probably wasn't even the best example to get for this line because he didn't have all the proper articulation on the arms right there. But I still lightened up a little bit. Maybe, I was like, maybe this line is okay. Then after that, I didn't really buy any more anyway. And then I finally picked up the Vegeta figure. And I have to admit now, almost, I don't know how many months later, I'm starting to finally lighten up to this line. I actually think it's pretty good, to be honest. It's actually really nice. And we'll get into more detail on that. But first off, I want to show a nice size comparison with the SH Figuarts Vegeta figures because they're pretty good too. But surprisingly, the difference in them are price, a little bit detail of course, but also in size as well. So let's take a look at the sizes right here. This is actually not the newest one, but it was a reissued one of Vegeta. It still has the old hip joints over there. This is actually a bootleg, which I love a lot because I got this a long time ago. But this is the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta right there, and the new one right here is a little bit bigger compared to them. But I don't mind that, to be honest. This is my own preference. Maybe you might have something different, but you know what? I actually like Vegeta to be a little bit bigger. He doesn't have to be the same size as Goku or something like that, or Gohan, but just having him a little bit taller is not a bad thing. I know in the anime he is shorter compared to the rest of the characters, but sometimes just having him a little bit taller isn't a bad thing for me, at least in my own collection as well. Also, depending on the artist, sometimes they might draw him a little bit bigger, a little bit taller compared to what he might be usually, but it's like I said, it's everyone's preference right there. So with that being said, I just want to show this off size comparison wise right there, and let's get on with the review. Alright, so straight out of the box, he does come with a couple of accessories. He does come with an extra pair of hands right here, which is not bad right there. And he also comes with the build-a-piece figure for the dragon of the Dragon Balls right there, which is pretty cool if you decide to build that. I know compared to SH Figuarts, they give a lot more hands, also different head sculpts, which is pretty nice as well. But you're going to pay the premium for that at 40-50 bucks, so you pick your poison right there. And at least we have extra hands to do blasters, so that's pretty good right there. Alright, so to change the hands out, it's pretty simple. He has fist ones right here, which are pretty nice. All you do is pop these off right there, and you put on the proper ones right there, just like so. And even though we only get one set of blast hands right there to do energy blast, it's not bad. You could be kind of creative with it. You could do his signature, like, I think he powers up sometimes like this. I'm doing it right. Doesn't look that much messed up though. Final Blast is that? Or Gatling Gun he has, one of them. He powers up like this first, or Big Bang Attack. No, he's one hand for that, but yeah, you can still get creative with it, so it doesn't look that bad, which is pretty nice. And actually, someone pointed this out that if you do have extra hands, because I'm pretty sure all of you guys have Vegeta figures, or at least white hands, you could take the SH Figuarts ones and actually stick them on to this figure, which is pretty good, depending on the exact figure, because sometimes the pegs are a little bit different. You could actually get away with it, which is pretty nice. So let me take these. So these right here are from SH Figuarts, and you can put them on. Depending on the colors of the white, it might be a little bit off sometimes. So you might have to kind of really match up and see which one fits well, but here it is. On different angles, you might not even notice, to be honest. That's pretty good. So now this one, you can stand up and do a blast right there. And maybe you could tell, depending on the lighting, if the white's a little bit off from like the glove over here and also his hand. But you might not even notice, so it's pretty good. And like I said, depending on which figure you use, some figures have different hands that are different whites, so you might get lucky. I know that the Goku, some of them are different, especially like Trunks. You know, the Super Saiyan Trunks the Trunks figure that he wears this outfit has a pretty dull looking white, so yeah, that's pretty cool. Alright, so now taking a quick look at the figure himself. Like I said, I like this figure. It's not that bad looking. He's a little bit bigger compared to the SH Figure Arts ones, but he looks a lot buffer, which is pretty nice too. He has a lot thicker of a neck as well, which I like a lot compared to the, let me get one right here, to the SH Figure Arts ones. Right there, this one always has a puny looking neck, which I'm not a big fan at all. He's a little bit more stumpier, this one though. But I don't like the neck on these. He has a really nice prominent neck right there. Nice big shoulders. He's a little bit bigger, but it's all by preference. I do like that a lot. So let's take a look at his head sculpt really closely. It looks pretty nice. Pretty good. Right there. The hair is fantastic as well. I'm not going to say it's like a glossy yellow. It's almost like a pearl paint on it, which is pretty nice. It shines really good as well. You can see the different paint apps on his face right there. The eyes look pretty good as well. And you know, overall it looks pretty nice. There is a nice kind of a shading on the blue as well on the muscles, so you can kind of see that. The outfit over here is pretty plain. There's no outline on the armor, which is okay. It's not the worst thing in the world. But going down to the rest, it's pretty simple and plain, but it does the job done really nicely. Alright, now taking a look at articulation right here. He has a ball jointed head. It's not on a hinge. I think we could take the head off. Yeah, there you go. Kind of hard, but you could take it off. Just on a ball joint right there, so nothing special about that. Now let's try to get this back on. There you go. So the head movement is a little bit limited though, so it goes left and right, no problems there. Up and down just a little bit, not the greatest to be honest. It could be a lot better though. The shoulders on hinge joints that rotate, so go all the way around like that. Pretty nice. Up and down just about that much, but if you rotate it out, you can maybe do something like that at the bicep. So well, a little bit restricted, but not horrible at all. Bicep swivel right there, 2 points at the elbow right there, which is pretty nice too. And at the wrist, he has a hinge and a ball joint, so pretty good wrist articulation. Nothing at the ab joint right here, alright, but he does have a little bit of ball joint on the lower part right here. Not the greatest, it only goes left and right, it barely acts as a hinge. And now, people might think that's a bad thing, but you know what, to be honest, these didn't have that great of articulation either. None of them did, to be honest. And if you really take a look at your SH Figure Arts Vegeta figures, they barely go up and down as well. I mean, they barely hinge. They don't. You could pop them up and maybe do a little bit, but they barely even move. They barely even move either. So, you know what? SH Figure Arts barely has a point over these, because even though you could do it, he looks so weird. Look how weird he looks. You want to bring him down anyway, and he won't have any articulation anyway, so yeah, you're spending a lot more and you're not getting that much different anyway on the SH Figure Arts. So even though his ab joint right here only pretty much swivels, barely rocks left up and down, you're not losing that much compared to the SH Figure Arts ones. Now going down to the hips, he does have a little bit of a peg that goes down for more movement, and you could bring it up almost 90 degrees, which is pretty good. I like that. He does have a swivel right there. It's on a ball joint as well, as you can see right there, so it does rotate all the way around, which is pretty nice. Split wise, it's like that. It does have a swivel at the thigh, if you want to call it that, so it's pretty good too. At the knee, 2 points at the knee right there, which is nice. No boot swivel, but at the ankle, I think it's a ball joint at the ankle, so it goes left and right, which is pretty good. Up and down, which is pretty decent as well. No toe articulation though, but it's alright. And it kind of pivots because it's a ball joint, so you do have a little bit right there. So for articulation, really isn't that bad. I mean, people might think the SH Figure Arts one has a lot better articulation. It really doesn't, to be honest. It has nice articulation joints and some extra other ones. Like you have extra butterfly joint in the elbow right there, which is pretty nice, but it's, you know, it doesn't do that much. It really doesn't. You know, you could get it going, but you don't get that much range anyway, right? Pretty much everything else is the same, right? Pretty much. It might have better neck articulation. I'll give it that one. That's about it though. Price versus what you get. So, alright, so for size comparisons, we have Gohan and Goku right here. They actually are swapped bodies right there because I actually like the looks better on these. But as you can see, you know, they both are just a smidge taller than Vegeta right there, which is fine. You know, as long as they are taller and Vegeta's a little bit shorter, I don't mind. I know a lot of people might prefer him to be a lot shorter, like this one. But I like this look. It's not bad at all to me. Not bad. If you really want to compare them side by side, like face to face, then you can really see the difference in sizes right there. So he is still shorter than them by a decent amount. You know, not that much, but still very obvious at least. You know, side by side you might see a little bit different because of the hair. It's a little bit deceiving, but the head might be like right here. But yeah, I like this. I like the size comparison a lot better compared to having him so short. But like I said, that's my own preference right there. And he looks pretty good. And for another size comparison right here, we have the SH Figure Arts Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku and Vegeta right there. And over here we have the Dragon Ball Super figures, and this is the Goku one at Super Saiyan right there, if you guys want to see a nice comparison. And this is not a bad figure as well. He has kind of like a permanent like arch in his knees. It's not that bad, but you kind of have, like, it's not horrible, it really isn't, but you kind of have to play with the ankles a little bit. But he's a pretty decent size too, as you can see right there. Closer to this one as well. Like I said, the hair is really hard to play off the height because you don't know where their actual head stops and goes. But there they are side by side. And like I said, it's all about preference. Which one you like, you know. I actually like this Vegeta pretty good, but I like this Goku. I mean, he ain't that bad. I'm not gonna lie. Of course, the SH Figure Arts ones are awesome. But you're talking about price now. Because, man, these SH Figure Arts figures are so expensive, man. It's hard to pay 40, 50 bucks at a time. Sometimes even more for these SH Figure Arts figures. And, you know, when you have a $20 alternative, and they're really getting serious of this line because they're starting to pump out more figures like Goku Black, Hit. I'm really hoping one day we get a Trunks figure, so he'll be a perfect size. If you got a Trunks figure in this line, he'll be the perfect size for your collection because the one that came with SH Figure Arts is actually really short, and they never really updated it. The other Trunks figure that came with this body actually is a pretty good size, but they don't have it in his normal clothing, which kind of sucks. But other than that, yeah, so here they are, Goku and Vegeta from two different companies. No, I'm sorry, they're both from Bandai. Two different lines, that is, side by side, right there. And for a nice bonus, here are the two Goku figures side by side if anyone wanted to see how they stack up compared to each other. And like I said, pretty good alternative, 20 bucks is not bad. Of course, the only downside to these super figures that you don't have any alternative faces or heads, which I know a lot of people would love to have. But, you know, if you just want a nice standard Goku figure, Super Saiyan, this might be a decent way to go right there. And for another size comparison, here is the SH Figure Arts Beerus figure that I finally got actually because I got them on sale, so I picked them up. And here is the tallest Trunks figure we have that's wearing this kind of armor. And he is shorter than Vegeta right there, which kind of sucks. But like I said, if we actually do get a Trunks figure from the Super line, I assure you that he'll probably be a lot taller, which would be pretty nice to finally have. And next we have the Dragon Ball Super Beerus figure right there, which is a little bit shorter compared to the original one from SH Figure Arts. And yeah, there you go. You know, this figure ain't that bad either. I wish it really had bicep swivel. I would never have bought this, but yeah, there you go. And to round it off right here, we have Goku and Beerus, both from Dragon Ball Super. Alright guys, so that basically is it. What do you guys think about this line, or this figure at least? You know what? I have to admit, I'm so guilty of prejudging this line before I even tried it out myself, which is not the greatest thing to do sometimes. And I do like it. I like it a lot. And that $20, 20 bucks, man. 20 bucks is pretty good. You don't have to spend 40, 50 bucks on the SH Figure Arts one. And don't get me wrong, SH Figure Arts is great when it comes to Dragon Ball Z figures. I do admit though, in this past year, I feel like the company as a whole has been declining in quality, to be honest. It's not that great, but when it comes to Dragon Ball Z, you know, that's #1 way to go. They have the best figures, to be honest. But it's hard to not notice the $20 figures that are actually pretty good. You know, it's a great alternative. And like I said before, they're coming out with more figures. Goku Black, the hit figure, and who knows what else they will come off in the next line. Who knows? And it definitely might want to change your perspective on how you spend your money, because 40-50 bucks is a lot of money for one figure. It really is. Sometimes it might be even more. And with that money, you get 2 figures from this line, the super line. So yeah, you never know what you're gonna do. And so that's about it, guys. I like this line. I have to admit, it definitely has my approval, and I can't wait for more figures to come out from this wave. And that's about it, guys. Thank you for watching, and like always, comment, criticize, subscribe, do whatever you want to pay attention. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and go to WildlandCustoms.com. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Peace!